And a Green Bay area hospital is caught in the middle of a bitter recall election. The Democrats are checking the names on petitions to recall Dave Hansen. Those calls, however, were made with the wrong caller ID, and that left some residents receiving calls very confused and angry. And Aurora Baycare wondering how their number was used in the first place. Fox 11's Mark Leland talked with both sides to get some answers.
When Green Bay resident Kathy Schmidt received a call with Aurora Baycare on the caller ID, she thought it might have something to do with her being 8 months pregnant. Yes. But it wasn't hospital staff on the line.
I answered it, and it was someone from the Democratic Party.
The caller identified herself and wanted to make sure Schmidt meant to sign a recall petition against State Senator Dave Hansen.
I asked her, did she understand that she was calling from Aurora Baycare? And she apologized that sometimes the caller ID comes up as different things and that she would look into it.
A spokesperson for Aurora Baycare told me they received about 60 calls from people who were contacted by the Democratic Party with the caller ID saying Aurora Baycare. Hospital officials would not go on camera, but they did some checking and they confirmed no calls were made from here. A day after the calls were made, state Democratic officials acknowledged they have begun contacting those on the Recall Dave Hansen petitions. They say their phone bank was inadvertently assigned the wrong number, and the calls showed up coming from Aurora Baycare.
Yeah, that happened for only actually a little over 100 phone calls to my knowledge, and that was a mistake by the folks who set up the phone call. It was literally a mechanical human error.
Democrats are checking the recall petition signatures because some of those who signed it say they were misled about what they were signing.
We're doing our due diligence to make sure that these accusations are followed up on.
Those who collected the signatures say the Democrats are harassing voters. Republicans even collected 5,000 extra signatures to make sure the recall would stand.
Whatever is being done, something stinks. I mean, this is a tactic that shouldn't be used.
People may be surprised they even got a phone call thinking the petitions were private. But once they were turned into the state, they became public. And state Democrats say the calls will continue, only the caller ID won't read Aurora Baycare. In Green Bay, Mark Leland, Fox 11 News.
Now, Democratic officials would not say whether all of the names on the petition list would be called, but they did say that the caller ID would properly identify the group.